to stand.
I welcome all the viewers all over the world on the program. Thank you so much for joining us today. Let's quickly move down to what we have on the papers this morning on Edo State Guba military election that took place last weekend. That's the 21st of September. That was last Saturday. It was Monday. Okpebolo, the governor-elect of that state, is saying at the newsstand this morning, I expect my opponents to congratulate me. That's what the governor-elect on Monday, Okpebolo, had said. Yeah, I expect my opponents to congratulate me, says Monday. Okpebolo, as Tinubu received him yesterday, Undo, Anambra, Guba, our next project. That's what the APC chairman, Ganduje, saying here. Obaseki left Edo in worse state than he met it, says Oshomole. On to the next one. Abga suspends Soludo's loyalists. Others. Abga suspends Soludo's loyalists. Others. That's on page 3 of the New Telegraph newspaper. To the next one, page 2. Tinubu orders low-key Independence Day celebrations. Tinubu orders low-key Independence Day celebration. You can see this story on page 2 of the New Telegraph newspaper. Bob Risky, federal government suspends senior prisons officials over alleged compromise. We'll go beyond this on these headlines for today. Let's quickly join our reviewers for more.
To stand.
It is at the moment risky to be associated with Bob Risky.
Go and check index. They say our judges more even corrupt than even custom and police. Go and check. So, and a lot of people are calling a very dark man to be very careful.
Thank you, Michael. I think it is at the moment risky to be associated with Bob Risky.
That was a good one.
You know,
I love your rhymes.
Thank you. Idris Riski, has been in the news the last couple of months. Even before then, and all of that because of his controversial position that he has taken. I'm deliberate in using he, even if when he claims to be a she.
You can use she, he has taken.
No, I insist on using he. He's a guy. He's just trying to be funny. So, a lot of he has thrown the entire social media the last couple of hours into a kind of frenzy because of the leaked audio, as you stated, which has indicted certain government officials, which government is investigating at the moment, and all of that. So, but for me, I think Idris is not the issue at hand is not new. We like to be hypocritical in this part of the world. Don't forget there was a time that Fisayo, I think Fisayo was his name, an investigative journalist that did a comprehensive investigation as to how our justice system runs. It started from the police. It deliberately went into the police system. From there to the courts, and from there to the prison, and he came out with a detailed, everything is online, a detailed investigation about the level of rot that has pervaded these institutions. And rather than investigating at that time, if I remember correctly, government was busy chasing the guy, declaring him wanted, and all of this drama that went on like that. So I'm not really surprised when the audio leaked and we begin to hear that Idris Okuneye was not actually in the prison, and there was he paid. That was the allegation, paid to have an apartment within that system. So, and for the EFCC, I think they became culpable when they had to drop the money laundering charges that was
Against
meant
him.
against him, that was meant to be part of his charge. Money laundering was dropped, and abuse of naira was used to send him to the prison and all of that. So that tells you the level of rot uh, that we have in our system, which we know anyway. It's not new, as I said. Government is running helter skelter on that matter now because it's already in the media space, it's already in the news, and there is an audio to that effect that is trending and all of that. That is why you see this level of response from the government. Government seems to have been, government has been embarrassed. Government officials have been embarrassed and all of that. So that is why the prison officials involved have been suspended from what is in the news this morning, and full investigation has been ordered at different quarters and all of that. So it is unfortunate that that is the kind of system we are, and more unfortunate that government is not dealing with the issues as they should. Very unfortunate, Michael.
Very, very unfortunate. Away from that, let's move down to what Monday Bible said this morning on papers. He expected his opponents to congratulate him when they emerged the winner of the gubernatorial election that took place in Edo State. He's the governor-elect, no doubt about it. INEC declared him the winner. But we have some persons saying he's not the winner, that the election was not transparent enough. There was no credibility in the conduct of that election by INEC. Michael, what do you have to say? How would you react to this? Okpebholo saying that his opponents did not congratulate him.
I think that was the way he felt. He's only suggesting to them that, or probably reminding them that you guys haven't congratulated me and all of that. But seriously, Mike, these are people, at least the two other major contenders. Let's pick one now. Let's take Apata out of the game. Perhaps he wasn't the game. Dalo, who is claiming that he actually won that election. You don't expect such a person to congratulate you. That presently the guy feel cheated, even though nothing has been proven. I expect the fireworks to continue. I expect the litigation to continue as time goes by. Asking them to congratulate someone that feel cheated, that feel wounded, that felt the electoral process wasn't free and fair enough to have produced Monday, who has been declared now. So you shouldn't be telling such a person to congratulate you. Allow the person to explore every available channel of addressing his grievances about that election. Don't also forget, Mike, we had about 25 observer, both local and international, that has condemned that election. Yaga Africa stood out in stating that the election wasn't free and fair, and a lot of vote buying. NBA confirmed massive vote buying in the election. So when you have about 25 observers having concerns about the election, much as we do not expect the entire system to be perfect, but there is the minimum acceptable standard that we expected in that election, which they seem to have fallen short again. And I use the word again because we've been through this route before now, Michael. We thought the INEC had the opportunity to begin to right the wrongs of the past and begin to put their house in order. Much as I also know that everything doesn't lie at the doorstep of INEC. The security agencies have been accused in some quarters and all of it. So, as a whole gamut of infractions here and there that has pervaded that election. And I think advising or telling them to congratulate you is probably mischievous.
Let's quickly move that to the tragic story that happened in Ilorin, specifically as Kwara State, specifically Ofa, as the Ofa robbery. Judgment has been passed to these criminals that took the lives of innocent citizens, on that sad day. Been sentenced to death by hanging. It's been a while. It's been a long time we had this kind of judgment, sentencing one to death by hanging. Can we have more of this, especially in our political system? For governors that loot, politicians that loot generally, can we have this kind of judgment passed?
Yeah, Michael, you reminded me of a very sad day in Kwara State, I believe, when that robbery incident took place in 2018. And it has taken about 6 years to have that maximum sentence handed down on the people involved. I believe due diligence has been done to ensure that justice is not misplaced, that they actually sentence those that are involved. It was a very sad day. On that particular day, about 5 police officers were killed. In total, I think there are about 30 that were killed in that particular robbery incident, including a pregnant woman, if I remember correctly. So it was a really sad day in the town, for town on that particular day. So I think justice has been served. In my view, if I believe thorough investigation was done to arrive at that judgment of yesterday. They were sentenced for culpable homicide, robbery, and armed robbery, to be specific, and that carries a maximum sentence of death by hanging. So I think justice has been served. I hope that is able to soothe the families that have lost their loved ones, and that don't forget these are human beings that were taken down in their prime on that particular day. I believe their families are seeing justice being served. Though for me it took a very long time, 6 years.
6 years,
Very long time. One of the main actors of that event even died in custody. Before now and all of that. So 6 years for me is a long time. Our judicial system must be in such a way that justice is dispensed with in a very short time.
Ahead of the independence of October 1st, Nigeria will be 64. Yeah, by October 1st. Michael, the reforms of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu have his ministers defending his reforms, his policies, but Nigerians are saying no to these reforms. That these reforms, these policies are too harsh. Amidst the economic hardship and inflation in the land, the federal government has ordered a low-key celebration for that day. Whether low-key or not low-key, I'm sure and I know that some of these politicians will be celebrating in their various homes or destinations. Michael, what records does Tinubu have to celebrate October 1st?
Thank you, Michael. Independence Day, October 1st. Government has called it that's going to be a low key, and I think that's what any reasonable government should do at this time. A lot of Nigerians are in pain. There should be no flamboyance anywhere during that celebration. So, for the fact that government called it a low key, I expected it to be a low key. Was per how the administration has fared, or we are all in it, Michael. For me,
We're all in it.
your reforms, your policies are just too harsh for Nigerians to bear. In an attempt to save a life, even in surgery, as I always make the analogy, you must address pain.
Put it into consideration.
You must always address, no matter how much you love the person, and a surgery will be needed to save the life of that person. Pain has to be addressed immediately, or else you will lose the person. So you don't want to tell me that all that I'm doing is just for you. Just give me some time. It's like somebody asking you to give him time to be killed. Give me some time. Let me kill you. That's the way I see some of our leaders talk. You must. It's a matter of must. You cannot take everything up at the same time simultaneously. From rent to food to transportation and all of that. And you say, you know what? I love you guys. Just relax. I'm cooking something. It will soon be done. Nobody does that. You must address the pains of Nigeria. This high cost of food. The basics generally must be addressed. There is no two way. I don't care your level of reform you are trying to put in place. Nobody cares how much you know until they know how much you care, Michael. So, regardless the level of care you think you love these guys, don't kill them before the food arrives. Arrive. Don't choke them to death in the name of this unpleasant reforms. So that's the way I see it, Michael.
All right, thank you so much, Michael.
Always my pleasure.
And there's another thing that says, if you don't know where we are going to, we should know where we are coming from.
Trace your steps and see the mistakes.
That's it. Have we seen our mistakes in Nigeria, especially in the administration of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu? This is October. I think Tinubu will be celebrating the second independence in office, if I'm not making a mistake. Yeah, we celebrated one last year, and this is another one. October 1st, independence. Nigeria will be 64 only. What do you have to say about Tinubu's reform, his renewed hope agenda, the promise he made to Nigerians?
Yes, so thank you very much, and good day to the viewers there. And I want to say the Tinubu reform is more or less a long-standing reform. It's going to take a while before it will start manifesting. And what they ought to have done is that reform supposed to come before. That the palliative to cushion the effects. What I mean by palliative, I'm not talking of Gary. I'm not talking of dishing out this. There should have been price control on ground. They should have worked on the price control, because as it is now, Nigeria has no price control of food amenities. They don't have price control of any things that can make Nigeria breathe well, which is food and infrastructure, like infrastructure. Talking of the oil sector, likewise, they ought to have done that, so that when the policy started taking effect, it will be easing. The hardship of the citizen must have been eased, so that they won't even feel the impact of that hardship of this, what's it called? The agenda is embarking on now. Reform is embarking on. We know everything has been damaged, everything has been destroyed in this country. Just not so long, I was flipping through a newspaper there. They still brought the atrocity of the government of President alleged, alleged atrocity, in which they said 46 billion, 48 billion missing under the treasury. I even thought I was there. I heard 20 billion then, because I think I glued to the TV that day, and it was a forum they set up. Oshomole was there, who happens to be the Labour leader, and this guy was there too. Some of 2 or 3 governors were there. Jonathan was there, and it was a round table. This thing, Sanusi was there, and it was Sanusi now that raised, his hand, that okay, you want to say something now. There's 20 billion, not even know that it's 40 something billion now, that is missing in oil treasury accounts. And when he said that, that was the lacuna that was created for PDP that time, that makes APC to work on it and come to power. So when people say why, majority of us, we heard that one and we got so mad, because I was strong supporter of Jonathan personally, because I don't need to flag my wave my flag, generally. I don't openly. I know who I want to support in any election, and I supported Jonathan because Jonathan came with a very very pathetic background, in which he said he had no shoe when he was going to school. He has nothing, and anybody that suffered in life will not want to go through what Jonathan has went through, and I believe that this is a man that will take care of our wants, our need in the country. But what happened along? Some hijackers, some cabal, they hijacked Jonathan, and they started pumping money out, dishing money out. And when we got that erudite woman, a great big time accountant, economic advisors to all the World Bank, I'm talking of Okonjo Iweala, and he was telling them, let's save for the rainy days. We just beg for debt forgiveness from the Western world, and he said, let us save for the rainy days. Let us save for the one handed it up. They went to Oguachuku to go and kidnap our father, who happens to be a king. So you see, how can a country be okay with all these charlatans attitudes that everybody's partaking in? So it's a long term. That's why I'm saying, end of Tinubu, it will take him a long way to fix up this country, because the country is in a dense shape. It is in a, it takes a while. It takes, I can say maybe they should even hire, World Bank, advisory, or World Bank, what's it called? They should bring them down to Nigeria. They may find it difficult to even fix it. I just don't need to go there. There's a lot of problem on ground in which we need to look into. So where are we going to start from? Where are we going to start from?
We've been told that the celebration will be on a low key.
Yes,
Low key. That should be amid the hardship,
yes,
the hunger, and all of that.
Yes,
Challenges we are facing.
yes, yes. I was just pity.
But that doesn't mean the politicians will celebrate it on low key as well.
They need to. Then that's why I say what I've been clamoring for now, what I've been and which I told you yesterday, that the only steps that Showore have taken, right? It put the wrong peg in a right hole. No, it put the right peg in the wrong hole.
Okay, right peg in the wrong hole.
Yes. So what it did then was, it had to have bring that agitation for constitutional reform. That is where we're supposed to stand now.
I think that's one of the agitation
Yeah,
for
yeah, yeah.
October 10th,
The-
October 1st
the,
blank
yeah,
protest.
yeah, the time you wasted on the streets, the hunger protest, hunger is only a fool that would know that he's going for a protest, and that protest cannot change anything in his life. Because, as you said, when we don't know where we're going, we're supposed to retrace our step, where we're coming back from, where we're coming from. Now, that basic thing alone of restructure, and the restructure can only come through that constitution, reviewing of constitution, because that constitution we have is just like a scam constitution. And you're talking of a constitution that was readily packaged under the General Abdul Salam, when they wanted to hand over to democratic government, which happens to be the president of Obasanjo, and they brought some elements of, they brought some section of Macpherson Constitution. Yes, which was the colonial constitution that we inherited. So can that really work? We are just passing issues up, and which is not going to help us. It's not going to take us anywhere. Everybody is feeling this pain. I myself, I have to withdraw some excesses. My children are enjoying like school bus, like I have to cut the school bus, stay away. I mean, for now, let them feel the impact too. Let them be,
What is going
worry. I mean, let them just feel and learn from to a bit of hardship sort of. So it's not by my wish, but I have to be forced to do it. And where there's pain, there will be gain. No pain, no gain. And that's what I believe on, man. And the country we have, let us believe in the country, because we have nowhere to run to. We have nowhere to stay. If you go to any country now, they will take you as refugee. The people that still jackpot, I believe they will still jackpot that very soon, because the country, the way it is, once we go straight to the problem we're having, the problem of diversity of, ethnic diversity, religion diversity, and what else? The favorism. I mean, the superiority of just level everybody. Let's level ourselves up and come down with our ego, because some people believe they own the country, they are untouchable. While some are being messed up, they've been, cheated, and some are saying they've never ruled Nigeria before, they've never been president, and they've been sidelined. Let us come to the round table and sort all this. Yes, converse and talk.
Now
Yeah.
let's quickly move down to Edo State, where we had a gubernatorial election last weekend. The winner of that election, the governor-elect, Monday Okpabelo, has come out to say that his opponents did not congratulate him. This is an election that the opponents feel wasn't credible enough. And even in Edo State, some people believe that Okpebolo did not deserve that victory. Now, in a sane society, politically, when someone wins, don't you think his opponents should congratulate him? We've had it in the past where the former president, Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, congratulated the ex-president, Muhammadu Buhari.
Yes. I think you see, Nigerians, it's been our culture, a loser of elections. I've never seen except Jonathan. And Jonathan, how many Jonathan do we have among those politicians? That's a big question we have to look at. How many like minds thinking person that we have apart from Jonathan, that record he has set? I've never seen anybody, and the politician that lost election and that congratulated his contenders, his co-contender. I've never seen, except Jonathan. And Jonathan laid that foundation, and through that through that steps he took there, he went regionally. He went regional, and he went global. global. Yeah, and people really know this is a pace setter for African to follow. This is a leader we can trust on the election, and you could see since then he has been adopted into they have been adopted into the what's it called the electoral African electoral platform issues, right? And what a glory can you enjoy than that, because some still don't want Jonathan to concede defeat that time. You could see how rascal our politicians are, and Monday you're talking of Monday does not even need to be complaining about, because he is being a thoroughbred Nigerians. He knows that since I've been witnessing the election, since Shagari time, Shagari and Awolowo, I've never seen opposition that lost that will be congratulating the
Most times they settle out of
they
case.
settle, court case. They go to court, and when they still get to court sef, they will
Court
even tell
case,
you they will tell you that the court has taken side. The court has taken. If you see what happened between the followers of Obi and Emilio Khan, well, there's the president, sitting president. The Obi people, they've even gone ahead before the judgment, say all eyes on judiciary. That means they don't have hope in judiciary, but they want to put all eyes on them, so that if any lacuna, any atrocity they want to play in favor of the government in power or in favor of the APC, we are watching you. And now, and that billboard, they erected alone really frustrated and really brought anger to the judgment of that. Electoral result. The presidential result. So Africa, we need to change our narrative entirely. That's one thing now. You see, it's like we are retarding. We are getting retarded, man, and we need to change that narrative, because can a country like Nigeria, for example, who happens to be the giant of Africa, who happens to be the sixth largest oil producer in the world, yes, we were once in that position, and who have the country that has produced a lot of OPEC, OPEC presidents. You talk of the Rinwan Lukman, you talk of what's it called, this lady that's on a wall now. This lady they declare wanted now, that's on a wall. She was once OPEC president too, but his tenure did not last month. So how can a country that's supposed to lead by example is going disarray, and who is going to lead Africa then? Who is going to lead?
Let's quickly go back to of a robbery incident that took place some years ago. I think the families of the victims of that incident, now have a room to say, oh, the government really supported them, as these people have been sentenced to death by hanging. But didn't this take a long time before the government passed, or the court passed these judgments we are observing now, witnessing now?
Yes, like you said, the government didn't support them. The government of which? Is it the state government, or is it the...
That should be during Jonathan.
That was during Buhari. I think it's a case that they involve Saraki into, but the judgment now fell on the people that carried out the acts, but they never look at that carried out the operation, but they never look at the sender, that they would send them, would organize them to go. Politicians, they can do anything to get what they want, and they will not use their children, they will not use any other of their relations. What they will use is the street boys on the street. I'm talking of street urchins, man. They will gather them.
Because I could remember one of the vehicles of Bukola Saraki was used, to carry out that brutal killings.
Yeah. But now in Nigeria, does
though he denied it.
They has to deny, but in a sane
And we learned that
in
the people that carried out this operation
yes,
were some of his thugs or something like that in Ilorin,
yeah.
Kwara State.
Yeah, but you can see the double justice I'm saying. Double justice, those guys will go for it. But how about the guy, the big man that was implicated?
But he didn't send them to go
He
raw.
didn't send them to go raw, but they will have invited him and, invited him. I followed that case right from onset. Suddenly he died down and they brought it up again. They will have invited Saraki himself. That is to show that nobody's above the law. And once we start, implementing the true constitution we're about to have now, nobody will be above the law. Somebody like Saraki, he will drop the gown of his ex-Senate presidency, and he will drop the gown and appear as Mr. Saraki. Nobody will attach former president, former Senate, Your Excellency. All those what they call it, title you give to all these guys makes them too more powerful. So to me, I think those boys should not be punished alone. They should dig down the case more and bring out who are the sponsors of this people. Because a street urchin cannot just get on the road and decide to start killing people. Started to start shooting. All right, he must have a godfather. And I can say Nigeria is turning to like what can I say? Nigeria is turning to like maybe it's mafian, right? Mafia. Mafian, Italian mafia itself is more than still learning from us now.
Before I let you go, on Bob Riski's case, the popular and controversial cross-dresser in Nigeria. Of course, you know what's going on in the media space now, especially the internet. Everywhere is boiling now.
He was supposed to be in jail.
Yeah, he was convicted. Don't forget, he was convicted.
Yes.
Sentenced.
And instead of that being in prison, they hired a partner.
And he bribed the prison warders.
It's not to be that. It's a normal crime, man. It's a normal thing. It's not to be.
It's not new.
It's not new. It's not new. I've been with one or two or three people that had a friend that was jailed in Kirikiri there. And that guy, every weekend, they arrange his, movement house. We spend the weekend before Monday again. That corruption is everywhere. Everywhere, corruption is. We sleep corruption. We awake with corruption, and we, hit corruption. So that's what this is. The corruption is everywhere. Is it every facet? Is it the judiciary? Is it the executive? Is it the talk of even among masses? We masses ourselves. So corruption is in our genetic as it is. So it takes hundreds of Tinubu to cleanse corruption. It takes hundreds of any coming president to cleanse corruption. Any future president, it takes. To cleanse corruption in Nigeria, I don't know. Maybe we all have to come for a rebate, a day of rebate. Say, how do we, all this way, our way of life needs to change. Our way of life needs to change to embark on what we attract God's goodness in our life. Because
I think
somebody was telling me yesterday that it's like there's anger of God in this country. No, definitely. There are bloodshed everywhere. Lord, everywhere. People are just doing anything they like. You could see ritualists killing people all around. You could see roads killing people, and which has blood money likewise. Money that they're supposed to use to, fix the road. They will not use it, they pocket it, and somebody will just be flying down road and got crashed, man, and died. Is that not blood money? Is that not blood money? That blood of that person will still follow. You see, this country needs sanity.
What should be done to the unnamed EFCC officers that were involved in this bribery allegation?
Of Bobrisky. Is it
Bobrisky?
Yeah. I think it's not EFCC. It's
prison warders.
Prison warders.
No, even some EFCC officers too
who are involved.
Yeah,
okay.
Collected money.
Okay.
Yeah, 50 million.
Yeah, they should bring them out and try them and put them to jail. Let them be a deterrent. Let it be a deterrent to others that want to follow. And if it is an high-powered person there as well, maybe high-ranking person there, it should be treated same way. The problem is we always measure punishments.
And the government needs to checkmate that system, because we are only hearing this because this one is a leaked audio.
This government,
Do you know how many of these cases?
the government needs to checkmate all those systems, but does the government really, all these guys work for government? Once they play dance to the government tunes, or they carry the government assignment out, I mean, they ended up going and fix their own business too. And part of their business is what they do, the arrangement they had with Bobrisky, and I can tell you, to end corruption in this country, we need to lead it from the top. Once you catch up one prominent person, you slam that person 40 years imprisonment and counting. Maybe it may not spend that 40 years fully. Maybe 40 years in prison. Then when they sentence someone to prison, they will just, maybe if you to spend 40, that means you'll be spending 20 years or 20 something years. So let them be a scapegoat they will use. But we've never seen a scapegoat. Our government, our politician, because is the government of party government. So it cannot. So what I'm looking at is the constitution. They have to write it boldly. Once one of my guys was even telling me, when they're swearing in, what's it called, that they will bring Bible, they will bring. Let everybody in Yoruba land, we have what they call Shango. Let them bring Shango to Ogun, to in East. Amadioha. Let them bring it for the governors there, for the power holder there to do. I mean, it's so annoying. It's so annoying. If you want to start the issue of this country, I think it will take us a whole year.
It will take us a whole year. Thank you so much, Kule.
But thank for the refinery. Are they aware now that the refinery is working? Then they nearly sniff me off, man, because I was saying.
But there are issues on ground.
Everybody's.
It's still Citizen, and I have Lucky Eajuan. I don't know, Lagos. I don't know if you continue to use that phrase. I don't know.
I must use it. I cannot stop because that's our slogan. We are still using it there. Despite APC, which the whole world knows that the president said, "I am going to give APC to Edo State."
Is that why you people didn't congratulate Okpebholo Monday?
As I said, we are not happy. But as a brother, both of them, from
the same side,
same village, in my village, Uromi, so from here to Agege. Yes,
wow.
And for more than 30 years now, Anisha have not been a governor. It's our turn. So I use that slogan, it's our turn, but I don't know the Lagos. But this time around is that in Lagos, Tinubu can just sit in Bodilon. I said, I need Ambode to be there. Ambode will be there. I need Sanwo-Olu, whether doing good or doing bad, they will remain there. But in Edo State, when we see you are not doing well, we kick you out. So that's why I say, God for that reason, we don't have it there. But now, under Okpebholo, I think we have for that reason from Asorok. That is the president who say, I am going to give APC. But for me, the two candidates, they are from my side. If Labour have won, it will be a different case. But Labour pick from Benin, Obaseki from Benin, Obaseki is just going out. There's no way you send the candidate to that place. So for me, let's watch how Okpebholo will work in initial. If you don't do that, we kick him out.
So you got to support him now, right?
Yeah, we have to support him because it's from our side. If we fight, whom are you going to fight? Are you going to fight your brothers? So we decide to say, I agree. But if they want to test it in court, even Nigeria now, they don't want to hear APC. But what would they do? Nigeria now is sit down, look. Even though they are dying under hunger, sit down, look. But the little struggle in Nigeria now, I don't understand me. Now, Bewa, Bekini Ewa, our local, a bilokan. A below come. If you're Yoruba man, you understand what I mean. A below come, not a below come. A below come. There is time for hunger. That's what I mean. So what I'm saying, whether APC, whether PDP, they are from a village. It's our turn.
You are speaking on behalf of your people.
Yes.
You are not
Yes.
speaking on behalf of the Edo people in general.
The Edo people knew that most of them zone all their APC except only Labour. Zone it to each side. They know that is their turn. And which I'll be saying it is our turn.
October 1st, Independence Day is just a few days from now. Are we really independent in Nigeria?
We are not really like who said that. We are military regime under Tinubu. I won't lie. When they talk about even Buhari, I know somebody makes mistakes to his tenure, but we're not hungry like this. Whereby judiciary, you go to judiciary, you cannot get anything you want. You go to police, you can't get anything you want. Mostly the judiciary. You see the Indians of judiciary corrupt. They are even higher than the police and the custom. So we are not. What are they going to celebrate every year? They'll tell you don't celebrate. Want to celebrate with low key.
Low key, yeah.
After they have used our money to buy jet and buy vehicle, let me tell you, this country has been frustrated. The politicians know that they use that weapon to weaponize the Nigerians. Even that election, you see the reaction, whether to react, but at the end, the Obas, the chiefs said, whom are you going to fight? Are you going to fight the person in National Rock? Who said openly, I am going to give you Edo State? Which is democracy? Are we democracy? No! Nigeria is suffering, but Nigerians are enjoying it. They are enjoying it. If Imo State, a governor from number 3 or number 4 to number 1, that's judiciary, and Nigeria did not react. No. You see, this country has gone back to. They're not doing well.
Now, away from that, let's quickly move down to a robbery incident. I think that happened 6 years back. 6 years back. Many were killed. Many were killed by these robbers that robbed in Offa, Kwara State. Now, the question I want to ask you is that, don't you think this judgment took so long before it was served? Of course, they've been sentenced by hanging, but lucky, don't you think it has taken too long to pass this judgment?
You see, that's what I'm saying. The judiciary need to do a lot of works. And corruption. I've taken, how can a case of a robbery, which at least is not supposed to last even 6 months, and take so many years? That's corruption. If you go to America, the way they display their justice there, did you know Supreme Court has a case of 60,000, but Nigeria has a case of 1,000 in Supreme Court till today, nothing. So, and again, they say they are using manual, they are using this thing. They are up to 16 judges, the 16 judges in Supreme Court. Why can't you employ more judges? Because of corruption. So, for that job to take long, that means something must have delayed. What is that? Kickback. But at the end, finally, it got judgment. If it is you, you lose hope. You won't bother to take your case to court. Now, but I'll give you an example now. I went to court with landlord, and they will ask you, the landlord have done his own work. Let me tell you the secret. Instead of them to go and serve you directly or place that thing on your house, they will be doing the case without your consent. But at the end, there will be some wisdom of some judges. They will say, place that thing in the door and let you see it. And whereas nobody come. If you come to the judge, you are lucky. They might be maybe remaining one day before you for the pack to the other side. That is how our churches. But some of churches will make sure that say, serve him, let him come. If they want to play smart, you see, the problem is that those lawyers are not still doing well. So what do? Thank God for this. What's the name? This new justice. But let me tell you, he's still going to swim in the same ocean. The politician is still going to use her. But if he can stay straight and clean the judiciary, it will be good for him when he's going. But like the last man, Aruwala, who went and appoint his daughters, appoint his son, appoint his nephew, appoint all his family in the judiciary. This is very, very wrong. So, judiciary, you need to be clean. How can you, from years, a robbery incident, they're just taking place now. So, my brother is very, very wrong. Our judges need to look inward. Corruption in every sector. Is it police? Go and check index. They say our judges more even corrupt than even custom and police. Go and check. So what are you saying? If they like, there are so many cases more than 30 years.
But are still pending.
Look at the governors. Go to National Assembly. How's the Kalo happen to him? Was it not sentenced? And the Buhari said he should go. Go and see no more. Check Akpabio. Akpabio did not contest election. You know that? Alawan. They don't contest election. How can you have two form? One is Senate, one president. When you fail here, then the judge say, yeah, good to go. So if it is you, are you going to believe the system? Nigeria is a mess. But the worst under Tinubu, Nigeria is a mess. Sit down, look, that's where we are now. Even 2027 election, 2027, I am not going to come out to vote.
Because of what happened in Edo State?
Yes! They rob midnight, and now the fact is coming out now. You know, many parties coming out. If Yaga Africa.
But you know, Obaseki was also involved in vote buying.
Oh, all of them bought vote. Shaibu bought vote. All of them bought vote.
So
but let me tell you, where the mistake come from, let me tell you. That election was contested by the three of them. It was where they manipulate. Yes, I was there. I was there.
All of them bought.
All of them bought. Look at the vote. So, look at it. Eredo. That is where they manipulate. Because normally you count from the ward. Then you go to local government collation. From collation to national. But do you believe Eredo did not come from the ward?
Did Shuaibu buy votes? Shuaibu that had the highest number of votes in his wards and his local
there
government.
There is no way one person, where you have PDP, Debo, APC, one person. You have not possible. It's not possible. You should understand now. The game, no, both of them. In Maisha, where the two candidates come from, we're all there now. 12,000, 9,000. You know why? Go feel both of them, they are brothers. If not so, everybody will go on PDP. That's why APC rushed to Isha. They go and pick. They knew. They after all, okay, you are brother, fight. But what do we do? My brother, we be arguing. Two brothers, a husband and wife. And my brother, let me go. The husband will say, let me go for PDP. After all, they are our brother. That's what happened. But at the end, already, that's where they ring the election.
All right, thank you so much. You're lucky. We need to go. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Seat stand.
As regards Bob Riski's controversial issue in the country, Falana, that is senior advocate of Nigeria, Femi Falana, and his son, Fowles, a popular musician, I've written to critic Vincent Ose, popularly called Very Dark Black Man, demanding a retraction of his statement on Tuesday said to be defamatory against them. This was contained in two letters issued by Mr. Femi Falana's law firm and signed by one of its lawyer, Taiwo Olawanle. VDM, as popularly called as Very Dark Black Man, had claimed in a video and audio recording shared across several online platforms that the Falanas allegedly connived with Bobrisky to prevent the cause of justice for financial gains and to get a presidential pardon for the former convict. Fowles also denied the insinuation of being involved in a homosexual affair with Bobrisky. They described the entire publication as a vicious, wicked, and reckless ploy to impugn their reputations and lower them in the estimation of right-thinking members of the public. They are demanding an immediate retraction of the offensive and derogatory publication as well as public apology within 24 hours, and failure, they will seek legal redress.
But we are seeing reaction from Chief Falana himself. Maybe on the legal term, because he cannot go beyond his area of jurisdiction. He's trying to ignite a legal process to checkmate the damage that might have caused on his personality. So that's what is going
And
on.
even his child.
Yes, fast. So and a lot of people are calling very dark man to still be very careful in issues like this, while some are also saying well done at the end of the day for exposing this kind of video. But let me tell you, before such video can be leaked to an extent, I still want to look at the whether he's a man or woman, the way he look at himself, the Bobrisky himself, who came out publicly. I don't want to know, you understand? Because you came out and started making frivolous allegations against the EFCC or the prison warder or whoever that is involved. How he was giving VIP treatment even when he was in the jail or cell or the custody or whatever they look at. No, he was the one came out that she was offered a service apartment, where she relaxes after 50 million was actually collected from him. And on that process now, video we are just flying around. Don't forget also the era of technology. Pastor, don't forget the area of technology has also involved. People can do anything at any time. So that's why people are saying that at least very dark man should, to an extent, be a bit reserved on that. We understand, and his closeness with the ruling party to APC. People are still looking at it that it's questionable. Right? Then we are still also looking at the position of the Femi Falana, the legal luminary, who has always risen on behalf of the masses in terms of trying to checkmate government policies that are already putting Nigerian economic system on in a very tight corner, especially during the protests and all that. And most of these things he does it free. Does service to humanity on charity. I've known Femi Falana for a very long time, but the time I started having reservation about him, when he began to withdraw from some of the ideology that attracted some of us to him that time, and we begin to look at things. When you see, things, you don't need to play politics about it. You need to be very, stand on where you stand. That's why, the likes of Femi Falana, Garifayemi, yes, I always say it. Garifayemi has always been somebody, who gave me the consciousness I have today. I will not lie.
Well, now they've demanded an apology from him over the offensive and derogatory statements he made in 24 hours. You see very dark black man coming out in the public to apologize.
Let me tell you, the very dark man, like I see it, is close to elements who are loyal to APC government. They are going to frustrate it at the end of the day because they know how to do it. They know how to handle that. So we are not going to move that away from the position Falana is standing against the government first. The psychological understanding of the government of the APC. As far as Femi Falana is concerned, you saw Femi Falana going to court to represent in the NLC, when there was threat on his life or to pick him up or thereabout, the IG. Then another thing we look at, that Fast himself also is a guy. His son, I love his son, because if people like this does not use their medium, to champion a new Nigeria, a cause, a new Nigeria, then we are in trouble. His type of song is not about women checking hands or women check this and that. He's trying to, get your consciousness, for you to reason. He's trying to drive Nigerians to philosophy of reasoning for a better day, for a better government. That's why I love him. So the Falana himself has able to transform or transfer that morals to the son, and which we are seeing today. He believed that Nigeria have no leadership yet. So, and they might be using such figures like very dark man or whatever they call him. You understand, to create a kind of psychological attack on these personalities we are talking about today. Yes, the 24 hours to go to court. Yes, then we are seeing some reaction coming from the government to based on the public outcry. Most of those people has been relieved of their duty post, for them to come out and start explaining the process that led to Bob Risky, who is a bad model or a bad influence to the Nigerian youth.
I think that there's a particular allegation that I don't really like. Though it's an insinuation, and I don't really welcome that. I don't see Fowles getting himself involved in that kind of mess. Though anything can happen. As his involvement in his homosexual affairs, with Bob Risky. How do you see it?
Well, let me tell you, if you look at that Femi Falana, I've been close to him.
Yes, I'm talking about Fowles.
Yes, I'm coming. I'm talking about the morals,
okay,
they're coming from the father, because a snake cannot born a lion. A snake cannot born a tortoise. The father has been consistent in the jurisdiction of advocacy right from the time he came to limelight, because these are the lawyers who came very close to the Afrobeat legend in those days, Fela Nicola Bokoti. So they share the same ideology. So I have not seen,
despite the fact that he delved into music.
Yes, I've not seen in the real sense of it, Femi Falana, son, moving away from those ideologies. Even though there are some level of politics sometimes, but when you talk about morals, no, I give it to him. So I'm looking at the father, not looking at the son also. From what you are seeing about Faz himself, I see that Faz is well behaved, yes, and he's cultured, traditionally okay, mentally sound. There was a time he had a brief, maybe he went for surgery or that. I'm one of the people that I wished him good luck. I wanted him to heal, and he stand on the side of justice. Yeah, I know what. Yes, I want to know what he did when he was questioning the rationale behind the 2023 presidential election. He supported P2B. He came out that we knew a vibrant, and you can see the consequences now of that decision by the Judiciary and the INEC. We are still mourning anyway. So from that, those are what you use as a yardstick, to assess people. So anything that has to do with private life, I don't think it should be put in public, because if it's put in public, everybody's a victim. But I don't think that Faz will ever be involved in anything that has to do with what he does not believe in.
No, let's look at his career. Don't you think this would somehow affect him or diminish his personality in the public?
Yes, if you have become too popular, if your popularity continues to grow, and you continue to trying to create a constituency for yourself, or you have successfully done that, do not be unexpectant of criticism. Do not be unexpectant of blackmail. Do not be unexpectant of people who are deliberately. There are things that have been done deliberate, calculated. There are people that is their work to carry out blackmail. They do it. You can see the APC national chairman coming on public space to say that unless the Igbos join APC, they will be marginalized. So what it means that it's a deliberate, it's a calculated. Yeah, it's a calculated. It's a sit-down agreement it's a conspiracy. So if such people at that level can come out and make that kind of statement, what it means is that somebody like Faz, will not be far from such attack. That's the truth. The federal government under his watch said low key. When the government says low key, it means that the public opinion about the assessment of that administration does not come for high flying campaign to be pumped.
No NSC.
You understand? Now I said the low key, step it down, because see, them to work with psychology. They know that there is hunger in the land. They know the consequences of the hunger. They know there is reservations. They know that what happened in Edo was as a result of the consequences of the hunger. Operational suppression took place. Catastrophe is what we saw there. But for them, if you get to that level of extreme comfort, you will not want an Okada man or somebody that is pushing barrel or a scavenger to come close to you. But it's a Nigerian, he won't come close to you. So if you're telling at that level for consistently like 5, 10, 15 years, they never lack Gary to drink. You know what I mean? They live in the light has never dimmed in their environment. They have enjoyed
luxury.
I don't know how to put it, to an extent, that it becomes part of them. So when you come out and start telling them, even in Asu Rock there, there is so much, a glory around them. There is so much things that's everywhere is pure. You cannot see an Okada man inside Asu Rock. Does it mean that the Okada man is not a Nigerian? It cannot happen. So when you are trying to assess them based on what they are sitting down on the a long, barbecue table, what they are talking about is different from what we are talking about on the street. Because the environment they are influences their thinking and reasoning. That's the truth. If you have come close, like we used to go to conferences where we have governors, maybe they want to celebrate birthday. You just don't go there to go and eat rice and eat chicken or thereabout, But in your reserved instinct and spirit, you sit down and you watch what it will be like, assuming there's no birthday here. You saw that their reasoning and understanding is different from what over 200 million are thinking on daily basis. One, how do I survive? They do not. Any man that is thinking, how do I survive? Anybody that is thinking, how do I survive? Wake up in the morning, their first attack from the mind, and that how do I survive? We take like 10-15 minutes battle in the mind. But I'm telling you now, I've experienced it. Before you said, okay, there's no reason like that. Before they are already briefed, you are going to, they don't have that kind of time. See, it calls for a revolution. It calls for a revolution.
Not celebration.
Not celebration. They know, they say low key, all these things are low key, but they are going inside their house, they are going to drink whatever and enjoy themselves. Both those who won the election are not.
Even Buhari time.
It happened,
as well.
Okay, it has always been done. But that does not mean they are not looting. They don't have money to celebrate for themselves, but they are trying to create an impression. We understand the game. Because anybody that have adequate knowledge of what Fela told Nigerians concerning this country should know what is playing out at every particular time. The secret of this country now and tomorrow has already been revealed. But you're always surprised when I keep on mentioning these two people, Gani Fayemi and Fela Nicola Bokuti. Bro, if you want Nigeria to transform, go and study and review the reasoning and the philosophy of these great men. Then we get it right. That's the secret of the black man. Any paparazzi you are seeing based on governor, they are just wasting their time. Nigeria has come to a possible better atmosphere and standing before Dubai. There was a desert, completely desert. No water, no resources, no crude oil, nothing. Are you talking about Singapore? Are you talking of countries? So many of the Indians, name them. So if they tell you, Loki, we understand. Low-key celebration, we understand. You understand? Well, those policies. Remember, you talk about local government now.
Autonomy.
You know, now there some the senior president is saying we are going to have electoral body that will be specifically in charge of the 700 and what local government in Nigeria election. They leave the state rep, senate, and the presidency maybe to INEC. It's already going. I think there's first reading or second reading or thereabout. You know, they're going to sign that where they are going to push for a total autonomy of the local government. Okay. On the issue of how local government is going to be receiving their fund, they are still fighting for it. So that policy has not actually been thoroughly processed legally, you know, and passed through the process to become a standing and executive power that it requires to function properly. So, but it is a verbal and a written is still going on and all that. So that's where we are today. Then on the issue of whether Bola Ahmed Tinubu's government has been able to pocket any sources or thereabout, you know, for me, how do I start from? Okay, let us see. Maybe the issue of Dangote. What else? Okay.
I think should we give him a pass back there? Dangote refinery.
Okay.
Despite the fact that the PH refinery is not functioning.
Let me.
We now have our own indigenous
private refinery, indigenous private refinery. Okay. It's okay, but for me, I'm just trying to get my friends to say, okay, I think he was able to do this.
So you can't.
I can't. Yes. My antenna is just moving around to see where it's going to stick or fall, but I'm not being able to place anything at this moment.
What of the 70,000 naira minimum wage?
With this current economy, it cannot work. So everything about Bola Ahmed Tinubu, I still believe maybe he still need more time.
But there is an order that they should start paying that money.
Bros, is an order when that agreement was done. How much is a bag of rice? How much are we paying transportation? How much are we doing this? Bros, I Mike, I told you that period that is not our problem.
That is not our problem.
If you like, pay 1 million naira, it is not the problem. You understand what I'm saying?
I expect my opponents to congratulate me. Okpebolo, Monday. This is the person that many people are saying, why would he prostrate for Ashwaji Bola Ahmed Tinubu after his victory in the last gubernatorial election in Edo State? He prostrated to the president, in appreciation for what the president, maybe for the support. Let me use it that way. He expected his opponent to also say congratulations to him, but none of them greeted him.
Nobody's happy with what happened in Edo State. Edo State was.
This is an election that was said to be credible.
Who are those people? The Young Africa say it's credible.
Yeah, there were reports that it was the most credible election.
They might see it as being credible. But deep down, we know the credibility is based on what goes into what at the end of the day. That's when you see credibility. An election where you are seeing people are quiet, nobody's celebrating, But the thing is that the biggest constituency, the Asian, seems to be relaxed because both candidates came from Asian. The Asian people are saying whether you go left or right, now we see the plot, no matter how now look at. Let us see what will happen. But you know that actually it was the president that this is not the candidate of the state APC, but this is the candidate of the president himself. Osumole and the rest of them wanted someone else. But the president himself said, this is what I want. And that is how it goes.
So Tinubu now reigns in Edo State.
Yes. So what? Yes. Now that's the fact.
So, in Edo State.
Yes, he spotted the loopholes of Obaseki, and leveraged on that, and collapsed him politically. You understand? So You see, if we are talking about real politicians in the midst of impunity, it does not actually give you, that credibility. Do you know that during the era of Jonathan was busy congratulating. People are still tracing the woes Nigeria are facing in the last 15 years to Jonathan. You can see what is happening recently now, that the CBN is still insisting, and Jonathan is saying no. If you actually say that, make it open. You find out whether actually this kind of money was looted under his watch. We know that it was a pure propaganda. Bro, there's no credibility in anything about Tinubu's government. Now, anybody telling you that, you do not expect somebody to come here. Yes, APC people, their party can do that. But on a rational Nigerian, we say that leadership is being determined by a cup of garri that is affordable. That is the number one thinking of the common man. And if you are not, bro, you are in the town carrying microphone, reading newspaper. God, you are seeing yourself, okay, you are wearing good clothes, you come. Bro, those people in the village who does not understand government policies, who's going to speak, who's going to address that issue, who's going to speak for them? Those families with 7 children who they live on pure water, 1,000 naira stock trade every day. They carry 1,000 naira worth of material from here to my 2. And then I'll come back. Who's going to tell them? How would they understand the government policies and how they'll survive? But let us look beyond, this. There are people in Nigeria now that don't still have access to electricity.
Now, before I let you go, the robbery activity that took place, that should be 2 years ago or 3 years ago. The robbery case. At the end of the day, the victims or the criminals, let me use that word, the criminals of a robbery have been sentenced to death by hanging. Do you think this is a good move? Sentencing criminals to death by hanging.
Without no option.
I don't think there's an option. Sentenced to death by hanging.
Yeah. Let me tell you, it is something that is a criminal offense and is condemnable. For me, it is the powers of the judge to decide whether they are going to go for life imprisonment or they are going to die by whichever means. Because them said they took lives.
They took lives. It was a brutal attack.
They took lives. It's a crime that should be discouraged. So I will leave that to nature and judgment to take place. When nature and judgment takes place, it becomes a natural decision. You understand what I'm saying? Yes, because you cannot say because you are under the sun and you said the sun will not come. The consequences of your action that takes somebody's life, you do not have that right to do that. So we will allow the cause of humanity and existence to take her position on anything that has to do with forcefully taking somebody's life. Once you take life, you should be able to know the consequences. There are countries whereby if you cross their border, they'll kill you just for crossing border. There are a lot of things. But when we begin to see that these things are only directed to the masses, to the ordinary people who are not capable of defending themselves, what of the people who are looting, who are making robbery possible through their policies? What is being done to them? Have they, Obabio and the rest of them, have they sat down and said, if I see 1 naira public money in your purse, you will die by hanging? Can they come up in all sincerity and pass that bill?
stand.